Hello, welcome to ESC Fan TV. It's January, and what does this mean? Yes, it is time for our MGP preview and review shows. Yes, and I do mean every Thursday night for the next 4 weeks, you will find us here at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time, previewing the entries for MGP semi-finals, which are taking place on Saturday nights for the next 4 weeks. Come on, guys. Who's excited?
Me.
Hey! See, I knew the panel would react. Now, just to get the housekeeping out of the way first, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That way you can find out when we're going live next. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media as well and keep the conversation going. Now, also, speaking of conversations, in the chat room this evening, yes, he's on chat room duty again. It's my co-host, it's Stuart.
Good evening, Tom. Well, I kind of have to be because I speak a little bit of Norwegian, but we'll leave that for another time. But you know what? It's not just January and Melodi Grand Prix. It's also dry January, which means nobody's having a drink, which means we're doing tonight's show completely bloody sober, Tom.
Oh,
how is that even possible?
Whoops. Never mind. Next time, maybe you need to include me on these memos.
Well.
Anyway, also joining me this evening, I have a fantastic panel. I've got a wonderful Elliot.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. I know I vanished for a few months, but I'm here. I won't attempt any Norwegian in case I offend Morten. So go Norway.
Hey, we've also got Joe.
God kveld, everyone. Hi, I'm back for Norway.
Hey, we've also got Oben.
God jul, Norge! No, I think I'm a month late almost, but good evening, everyone. Good evening, Euro. I'm so excited to be back. Looking forward to this every year. MGP never disappoints us. Always the contender of best national final. So I'm excited for this year as well.
Ah, yes. And these MGP's shows would never be complete without the wonderful Morten.
Hi guys, thanks for having me back this season as well. Og hei til våre norske seere, får jeg vel si. Det er hyggelig at dere ser på også. It's so great to be back and talking about the MGP that so many people love, not only in Norway, but also abroad. So it's great to be back. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's fantastic to have you back. And it's fantastic to have everyone back because for me, MGP, I know we have Thickness and I know we've got Benidorm Fest, but in actual fact, MGP, it's really the proper start of Eurovision season for me. And I hope for you guys at home as well. Now, we've got 4 fantastic songs to review or preview, who are competing for that coveted final slot. But then also, we've got the automatic finalist to review as well. So without further ado, let's look at song 1. Now, if you didn't guess, the title of that song was We Still Here by Mira. She's a Norwegian R&B artist. She did go viral, possibly for the wrong reasons, about 10 years ago. And I think 10 years is possibly a little bit longer than 10 years, really, for supporting the Fugees, opened for them, did a stage dive. No one caught her. Oh, dear. I shouldn't laugh. She shattered her kneecap. Oh, but let's actually find out what the panel think of this song. Stuart is off already. Let's go to Joe. Joe, what do you think of We Still Here?
I'm still laughing. I'm sorry.
The video is on YouTube, by the way. I'm not making this up.
Oh no, because you played it earlier. I went, whoa, what's going on? Actually, I mean, as a songwriter, she's very good, this lady, isn't she? Because didn't she co-write one of our favourite Norwegian entries? What was it? Hold On, Be Strong, is it? Am I right in that? Yeah, she co-wrote that. So she's a very good songwriter. And actually, it's not that bad, is it? Let's face it. If this is going to open, it's a very, very good song to open the whole competition. Catchy, quite balkany, if I'm honest. I think if I think there'll be a lot of people, it wouldn't go wrong in Albania, would it? Put it that way. It wouldn't go amiss over there. So I quite like it. Not my favourite of the whole competition, and certainly not my favourite of this one, this actual first heat.
I wonder what your favourite could be.
I wonder what my favourite will be. Yes, but it's okay, definitely.
Hey, it's a thumbs up from Joe. Now, we don't actually know what song is going to open up the heat. The normal format for MGP is literally they put the names of the songs in a hat and they literally do the draw live on stage. So it's totally random for the 2 dual format. Now, sometimes this works in their favour brilliantly. Other times we find, particularly when we've done these shows before, that the 2 songs we thought were going to be absolutely, the ones to get through to sort of like the final sing off, actually find themselves facing themselves in the actual original duel, which is always a bit, never mind. Now, let's go to Morten. We still here. Is this the song for Norway?
Unfortunately, it's not. But even though it's not the song for Norway, I think it's a catchy song, and I see why people like it. And of course, it's Mira Craig, and every Norwegian loves Mira Craig because she's a queen. But I personally think the song has some catchy tunes, and I like the na 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 as well, and I think the lyrics is quite good actually, but I think it's quite when you listen to it a lot of times, you hear it and think, is this a song that I love? No. Why? Because it's a little bit like irritating if you listen to it a lot, because it's a bit noisy and so many things happening at one time, and so I don't think it reaches to that top level. Not with all the other 20 songs being so different and good, and some bad. But I still think it's a good song, and Mira Craig is a good artist, but I don't think the song is that good. It's good, but it's not quite as good as other songs.
It's still a thumbs up, isn't it? It's still a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's still it's like this.
Hey, we can live with that.
Yeah.
Now, Elliot, how do you reckon they're going to stage this one on Saturday night?
See, all I can think is this is a sort of song where you have a lot of dancers and fire, and that can either look really effective or really messy on stage, because we don't even know what the MGP stage looks like this year. It could be totally different from last year. So that's I don't want to say a worry, but I wasn't a big fan of how dark the MGP stage was last year, so I hope it's not too similar. I do like this song. There are elements I really do like, and Joe hit the nail on the head. It's Balkan sounding, and I can all day I've been trying to pin what is that sound, and it's Balkan. Where she loses it for me, where this falls out of my winner for this heat, is when it goes almost operatic at the end. She goes really high in the last 40 seconds, and it's just not needed. It feels like she's trying to show off for the sake that she can, and I am never the biggest fan of someone just doing vocal gymnastics because they can. It's impressive, but you don't need to do it just because you can. I still think it's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of fun, and if she can perform and sing it that well with all the energy, it could easily make the gold final. Is it going to win though? I don't know. There's an argument for all 4 to qualify on Saturday. That's the really frustrating thing, because they're so different. It's a real game of preference and how big is your name to find. And it's if everyone loves Mira and she's a big name in Norway, probably we'll see her to at least the gold final, I think. Will she win? I'm not convinced.
There we go. I can tell you we can narrow it down to 3 tonight, because I can guarantee the one that me and Joe like will probably just get eliminated. Although every year we get one. Every year we get one. But in actual fact, most of the time, Do you know what? Our favourite, gone, kiss of death. Oban, did that song give you a cultural orgasm or not?
Tom, weirdly tonight, I'm very close to Elliot. I was going for like more of an Azerbaijani sound at the beginning, like with the flute and stuff. I sounded like really Eastern Oriental, but I can see the Balkan taste in it as well. And I think this song is a winning potential if the song time cap would be 2 minutes. Like if every song would be 2 minutes long, and it's like because it grabs your attention, you go along, but like there is like an instant, then you realize this been going for a while now, like when this song will end, because it's repetitive, there's no journey, there's no build up, it's just constantly the same rhythm all the way. And towards the end, I don't know if she has a classical training, like classical background, but it feels like she doesn't have, but she's like, I can make that sound. And then she just tries to make a classical sound, not like classical singing. So it's like, cringe. But like, I love it. I love a showgirl. I'll root for her. Like, go girl, work it out, move that ass, and I'm like, I'll be all the way till the end with her. But definitely for this reason, I don't think she's the winner. Not even the heat, or maybe the first playoff.
Oh, that is fighting talk. That is fighting talk. Stu, what's the chat room saying? Wrap this one up for us.
Well, I don't think the chat room are really loving this one particularly. There's a few comments in there which actually I agree with. It's a bit messy, perhaps a little bit annoying. Man, I mean, this is the first song of the evening, so I kind of feel like I've got to be positive about it. But whilst I'm doing Dry January, my God, this made me head towards the vodka aisle in the supermarket today. I find this very, very messy. Whilst it's a bop, it feels like it's kind of been stitched together quite badly. She's a very, very, very good singer and very good performer. And I actually think, I'm going to take a lot of what I just said back to a certain degree. I think she'll deliver this really live, and I think I'll understand it more when I see it on stage. But as an audio track, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And the lyrics are odd. We're here, we still here. Makes no sense whatsoever. Have no fear, we still here. Nah, still don't understand what she's talking about.
But have no fear, because we're still here. And with that, we move on to song 2. Ah, yes. TrollfesT. This is more like it. Dance like a pink flamingo. And I'm sure many of us will be in Euro Club this year. Do you know what my description of this, guys, was? Totally rocking nuts. And I just think it's just absolutely amazing. They dubbed themselves as a Balkan metal band, but they're actually dubbed as a folk metal band. Been around since 2005. Since they had their debut album, Welcome to the Drinking Feast. And no, it wasn't in English. That was the loose translation, because normally most of their lyrics are in Trollspråk, which is basically a fictional language. It's a cross between Norway and Norwegian, and German. Oh. Oban, are we going to persuade you to dance like a pink flamingo?
I really didn't want these two songs come after each other because I don't want to set a negative tone. But I'll go very bold and very sharp on this song. I'll fight against this song until the last drop of my blood. I am totally against that artists are using Eurovision to become famous on TikTok. All these dances and like this since 2020 with Uno and Daddy Frere Iceland, since they started this, since they gained random fame on TikTok, and then people are like, artists are going down that road just to get some popularity and recognition on TikTok with their like funky dance moves or whatever. So this has to stop. Like I'm very happy that it's a national final song so that we can dance along in a Euro club, but I'm gonna fight with all my being against this song winning this competition. Sorry, it has to stop.
I feel like a little part of me has died inside through those comments, Oban. I can't believe you do this to me on the first show as well. It's all right. Joe, come on. Tomorrow night, surely we can dance like pink flamingos.
Yes, is the answer to that. I just love it. And Oban was my friend, and I was doing that to him earlier, but I'm not anymore. I just absolutely love this song. And you know what? I've got one worry about this song, is the fact that there'll be a few people that'll think we don't want too crazy songs featuring animals in the final, but we do. No, wait, we really do. This one has to go to the final. Please. It is amazing. And yes, we are going to be doing it at Eurofest tomorrow. We are going to make them play this song and we're going to dance to it. Tom, we're definitely going to dance to it.
Absolutely.
I just love it. This is absolutely brilliant.
We need
the song.
This is what like the first MGP should be about. Because I remember the first MGP semi-final a couple of years ago. It was Rayleigh's Wild that we got played. This should be the moment for it. I think Martin stole my question, because obviously Morton, what it boils down to, as we found out last year, it's not what us fans want, i.e. like Kano and Monument. It's what the Norwegians at home want. So do TrollfesT actually stand a chance?
I actually do think they stand a chance, absolutely, because it's something completely different than the other three songs in this semi-final, and I think they're bringing something new and something like crazy that can do good in Melodi Grand Prix. Like they are, we had an interview with them yesterday, and they were like so kind and so funny. And when you hear the song, you are thinking, okay, I don't want to get close to these guys. But when you actually get to know them, they are so kind, and they're talking and dancing like pink flamingos, and everything just seems to be okay. And I think the song and the lyrics is so unique that it earns a couple more points for me. I don't typically listen to these types of songs, but I actually am listening to this a few times because it's something unique and something special. And I have been talking to a couple of Norwegians who actually think and hopes this will get through on Saturday. So I think the possibility is there, absolutely.
Hey, see, Joe, this could be the week. I mean, obviously, it'd be downhill from here on in as far as our choices go, because it always is. But this could be it. Lee in the chat room says he's not a fan. Sounds like something Busted released back in the day. Not sure I'm getting some Busted vibes there, Lee. Although I am getting Dragonfire Through the Fire and Flames vibes from Guitar Hero, if anyone ever remembers playing that about 15 years ago. Elliot, surely this song is right up your street.
You clearly do not know me enough over the 3 years I've been on this program, then.
I do.
See, I am so confused and conflicted by this song. Like, the screamo beginning, not a fan of. The rest of it, I kind of don't mind. It's like quite quick-steppy, quite fun. There's elements that almost give me like a reference to like the safety dance, like within the melody. It's so bizarre. It's like if Vox Club were just on 1,000, if anyone remembers them from Germany a few years ago. But it's so bizarre, and it's so. But that's the thing. It gets in your head, and you can't help but kind of smile, just like how much fun they're having. I mean, Donna in the chat room is right. Staging and performance is key for this, because if it's too manic and their voices go, no one will vote for this. And or if it's too manic, people may just be switched off from it. I don't know. But if it has that sort of like wild edge or still being contained, I think it could do well. I do think if this doesn't win on Saturday, it will be the wild card pick. I think, like, if they do pick a wild card, like, this would be the obvious. You need a bit of diversity in the final, and it also reminded me a little bit of God rest his soul, Hank von Hell, like from a few years ago. Oh, are they going to fly over the stage though? That's my question. Have they got the rig for that? Because that Hank flew in the final, didn't he? He flew. Oh no.
I'm hoping that, because flamingos don't fly, that we might actually just see, lots and lots of pink flamingos. Yeah. Stu, come on. There's a lot of love for this in the chat room, is there not?
Yeah, there sure is. There sure is. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Dance like a pink flamingo. I mean, essentially, it's a hot mess. But somehow it works. They've pulled it together. They've stitched a multitude of songs together, and they've made it work somehow. Gives me dusty cow shit, chicken rodeo vibes from Melodi Grand Prix some years ago, which I love and is ingrained in my memory like there is no tomorrow, Tom. Catchy chorus, love the guitar element to it. If Norway wants to send a fun rock song to Turin this year, this could quite be the Norwegian's entry. Get your freak on and dance like a pink flamingo, Tom.
Hey, and whilst you're dancing like a pink flamingo, let's listen to song 3. There we go. Song number 3. Did Eline send you into ecstasy? Elliot, what did you make of this one?
In a word to the question at the bottom, no. It tries too hard. This is this song's problem. It is trying to be this current mid-tempo female pop song, which there are 50 of every single Eurovision, and it tries to be too clever with how high she goes to the point where you can't really hear her diction. Like, I don't know what she's saying in the second part of that chorus, but she goes that high. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know if she has been influenced by Sia, but it definitely sounds like she's been influenced by Sia. And it's just trying to do too much whilst trying to be streamlined at the same time. So it's kind of contradicting itself. It's a very streamlined, marketable sound, but her voice is just, I don't want to say off-putting because that's rude, but it's something you're either going to gel with or not. And I think it's not the weakest song. I don't know if it is the weakest song because I don't think there's a weak song in this heat, but it's definitely the least polarized. Like, you're either going to get it or not, and it's not enough of a love to, I think, really vote for it. I think there are other more intense songs that get your attention over this. It's just going to fall to the wayside. I don't even see this getting into the gold final on Saturday night.
Elliot, I have to say, I can't believe what you've just done. Michelle's just put, I can't believe I agree with Elliot. This might be the end of dry January.
I mean, there's only one time a year that me and Michelle agree, so get ready for 5 months of us fighting.
Hey! I think it's the vocal gymnastics in this one that kind of doesn't necessarily endear it as much to me as it could be. Stu, what's your take on Ecstasy?
Are you ready for this? Well, listen, there's shades of a mid-tempo to up-tempo. It's kind of mid-tempo, isn't it? Elevate from Melodi Grand Prix 2021 in it. I loved that song last year. I thought it should have won the wild card. I thought it was fantastic. The rhythm in this kind of gives it a bit of a world beat feel at times. I think it's interesting, Elliot's point about vocals. I agree with him. I think the vocals have to be on point on Saturday night to make this work. If she could pull it off, and oh boy, well, I mean, what a tough job to do, because it's a difficult song to sing, especially that high. But if you're going to put yourself out there, then you're going to have to deliver it. And I'm looking forward to hearing her pull this off. The diction does get difficult. I mean, who am I to say? I'm a Brit guy. Why should I criticise Norwegian speaking in English? It's not fair. But it's quite hard to understand, especially in the high notes. However, Never touch the stuff, but when Eline does hit those high notes, I am scrambling around for the nearest pill, I've got to be honest. And I've never, ever, ever have I ever felt like being trapped in a lift with Alvin and the Chipmunks until this moment. This is how it made me feel, Tom.
Interesting. I think this song needs some love, and I think Morten is just the person to show it some love.
And you are just correct, Tom, because this song, for me, I actually, when the first time I listened to it, I didn't get any reactions from any others, so I was like, okay, I like this very much. And then I'm seeing the comments right here, not being the most positive, and also from Elliot and Stu, and I'm like, am I the only one who loves this song, and I'm listening to it every day and like almost every time, because I think it's so catchy. I think it's unique in such a way. And the first time I listened to it, the drop after the chorus, I didn't quite like it, but now it's grown on me a lot. And it's just, I think it's very, very good. Her vocals is incredible. I don't think I can take anything away from this song, and I'm saying it right now. This is in my top 3 MGP songs this year. Yep.
That, dear friends, is the highest praise Morten, I think, offers any song. I don't think you ever admit to having an absolute favorite until the final. So I'm going to go with this is like the gold standard of praise. I think my one concern is, and I think it is, can she hit those high notes on the thing?
Well, I think I saw in an interview, I don't quite remember the exact number, but I think it was like between 300 and 400 concerts in a year. Wow. And that's incredible. I mean that means you're on a concert every day in a year almost. And so, yeah, I think she has enough experience, and it's a big stage, but I think she will make it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's wow. That's amazing. Let's go to Joe on this. How do we think Eline could exploit this song to its full potential with the staging on Saturday night?
It's got to be the one song that I haven't got any idea how it will be staged. I'm not going to lie, Tom. I think what she's got to do is just concentrate on that vocal, because if she starts dancing and getting out of breath, she ain't going to hit that high note, is she? So she's got to sort of concentrate, so not sort of dance too much, maybe have dancers around her, but then she doesn't do as much, and then sort of gets those high notes, because it's not just 1 or 2 high notes. She's got to do it several times on all the chorus. So I just think that she's got to be really careful. But if Morten, what Morten was saying about how many concerts she's doing, she's obviously used to it. I don't know her other songs, so I don't know if she has as high notes on the other songs or not. It'll be really interesting. I think if she does hit it though, and if she does do that staging, then to be fair, if she makes it, she could get through. It's not my favorite song though, not gonna lie.
Interesting. And Oban, wrap this one up for us.
So, Tom, I don't understand how someone can like Flamingo and not like Ecstasy, or how someone can like Takes Fallen Angel and not like Ecstasy. This song represents Norway. The quality, the talent, the journey the song takes you on, and I think she's playing to the crowd that last year Jones Tears played, like good vocals, high pitch vocals, and then a little bit moody, rhythmic, slow song and stuff. So I think she has the whole package. And sorry, hold on, let me put myself together. So yes, I think she is she's the well-deserved direct qualifier by mile. Like, I'm so happy that, because when I was listening to songs for the tonight, and this song came up the last, and I'm like, relieved. Like, MGP still chance to win this whole thing. So I'm like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, and I'm looking forward to staging. And if this song is this smartly composed and written and sang, I think the staging will be just as smart and just as high quality. So I have no doubt that this song will kill on Saturday's semifinal.
Hey, a very worthy speech there. I can see, Oban, that me and Joe are kind of like our recommendation, our chances of dancing with dancing like pink flamingos, just slightly less after that. Now, talking about the whole package, we've got one song left that is competing on Saturday still to preview. It's Frode Vassel. Let's take a listen.
We keep justifying your pain. We refuse to take the blame. We are the Black Flowers.
Now, Frode was in the Norwegian version of The Voice in 2021. He's got this nice rock and roll, decent beat. It reminds me of a song, and I can't actually tell you which song because I can't quite put my finger on it. It's got that good rolling, pushing beat to it. The panel may have noticed by now that since there's kind of like, 5 of them, I'm coming to a different one first every single time. And Morten, you're up. Is the Black Flowers a hidden gem amongst the songs?
Out of the Norwegians I've talked to, this is a real hidden gem because everyone knows him from The Voice last year, where he was excellent every single time. So we are not even a little bit concerned about how we will perform live. So that's out of the way. Now it's the song. And for me, the song is just quite basic. I mean, it's a bit plain, I think, and some of the producing is not supreme. So I think this is just a bit plain. It's out of my taste when it comes to music generally. So it's like, I don't know if I like it or not. I have to think about it till Saturday, to be honest.
It's put you in a pensive mood, I see.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I think, and it's summed up by Soul for Speech there, and put the comment up, too much we are. And I think that is one of the things I'd say about it, is there is that kind of like repetition there. But Joe, surely that makes it a bit more of an earworm.
Definitely. And to be honest, because to me, oh, Tom, you've got me now, because I know it does sound like another song. And I am really bugged now that I don't know what that song is. If anybody out there knows, I'm thinking, yes, I know what you mean. No, with this song, yeah, it is an earworm, and it's not just that. There's a bit of, it's rock, and it's got a little bit of 80s flavour, and I'm an 80s rock chick, and I do love this one. Obviously, I know he did some work with Aj from Wigwam, and so yeah, I love this. I have to say, I really do. This is my second favourite. It's not quite up there with the Flamingos, but it's not far behind. I'd like to think it does well. I don't think it's going to end up winning, but I hope it does. I have to say, I hope, well, after Flamingo. If Flamingo doesn't, I hope this one does.
Well, do you know what, Joe? I can see us being in the situation where this will be one of the first duels, as always.
Yeah, rather than the actual final duel where we don't mind which one who gets through. Yeah, that always happens every single year in Norway, doesn't it? With me. and you
Yeah.
and everything. I know. And it's still going to bug me, and I'm going to see you tomorrow night, and we're just going to have to try and find what song this sounds like. Absolutely.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Oh God, I am so bugged now.
Oban, can you help us out with this mystery? What song does it sound like?
I mean, I don't know what does it sound like, but like repetition, Eurovision, this goes together. Like, look at like, yeah, came second. You know, like, who doesn't like a little bit of repetition in Eurovision? So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't need to be sophisticated in lyrics. I am totally against Salvador Sobral attitude towards the song contest. It's all about so heartbreak is not the only feeling that humans can relate to. It's just like having a good time. I've been criticized not having fun with Flamingo song. Sorry, I am having fun, but it's just not for Eurovision stage. But this song, it's average. It's meh. It's a good quality song. People will relate to it. People will shake their hands, like whip their heads, whatever, and stuff. And so it's a good diversity act, I think.
Hey, now, Stu, what do you think?
Right. I like this. There you go. Positivity. Finally, I'm there. I think it's really good. I think it's a pretty decent rock song. I really do. And the thing I like about it the most is it has immediate impact. You listen to it, and regardless of whether you like it or not, you can't help but look down and find your foot tapping on the floor to it. It's quite relatable, as in the sense you've heard it a million times before, but that's a good thing. It's melodic with some really good hooky moments. The we are the black flowers. That is the hooky moment. That gets me every time. And you try, I've listened to it about 5 times. You try to not tap your foot every time you hear that. You just can't help yourself. Yeah, I could see this one. I don't know whether it will or not, but I could see this one being in the final duel on Saturday night, and wouldn't surprise me if this one qualifies. And I imagine that Frode, given his experience and talent, could deliver a really good live vocal. That said, we can do anything from 6 feet under. No, Frodo, you can't. You're dead.
Interesting final point there, mate. Interesting final point. Elliot, are you the one that sat there with your foot tapping away to this?
Yeah, because I'm going to say off the bat, this is my favourite of the 4. If I could pick one to go to the final, it would be this song. It's catchy instantly. It, like Morten said in private chat, it sounds like Gearman come alive. It's that he's got a similar voice to Gearman, or Gearman, however the hell you say his name. But it's really interesting. It's like it's probably the safest of the 4 songs. Like there's no real polarizing aspect to it. But that in itself can be an advantage in a semi-final full of polarizing songs. The safest bet can always win. He's a good singer because he's come from The Voice. He's a recognizable name that's quite recent. I love the title, Black Flowers. It's quite mysterious and a bit different. And I just like it. It's quite, yes, it's rocky, but it's like a swing rock. So it's really marketable and it's really catchy and it's an earworm. So yeah, it's one of those songs which even if you don't like it, you instantly know what it is the second it comes on. I think that's a huge thing. But I can see this being drawn against TrollfesT, and so I won't even get past the first duel, and then I'll be sad the rest of the night.
There's no need to be sad because you could just dance like a pink flamingo and it would all be fine.
You see me on a night out. Don't put me on one foot. I'll fall on the floor and smack my face.
That's normally because you peak too soon and drink too much. Now, panel. Just before we look at the automatic qualifier for this week, let's just get a semblance of what you're thinking and put you on the spot. Who is going to nab the win on Saturday night? Let's start with Elliot.
Why do you always come to me first? These really difficult questions.
Because you position yourself on that side of the screen and I go round clockwise.
Right, Joe, I'll stall as much as I can. My head says TrollfesT is going to win it, but I would pick Black Flowers.
Okay, Joe.
Flamingo!
Yeah. Oben.
I will be upset if Ecstasy doesn't go through this like smoothly.
Okay, Morton
I have to choose Ecstasy as well.
and Stu.
Well, I think it probably will be Ecstasy, actually, as long as she can pull the notes off. Interestingly, what the chat is saying, we've got one here for Flamingo, another one for Flamingo, Ecstasy, Black Flowers, TrollfesT. So basically, any of them could win. There you go. Useless bloody chat room as always.
I have to say, there is one song that no one seems to actually say is going to win, and that's Mira Craig, who seems to be forgotten about.
Who's the most experienced? Yeah.
Who is the most experienced, and that will be the interesting thing of the night. Me personally, it's going to be the Pink Flamingo thing. Anyway, let's look at the automatic qualifier. Elsie Bay, Death of Us, has been automatically put through to the final. Let's take a listen.
Made up my mind, so you no longer have to deserve my love. I made up my mind, and there's no coming back from the two of us.
I'm getting, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm certainly getting Victoria vibes. Last year's Bulgarian entrant, in actual fact, Bulgarian entrant for the last 2 years. But Stu, this is your moment to shine, my friend. You get to go first. What are your thoughts on Elsie Bay?
Right, I think this is absolutely incredible. There you go. I think it's a stunning, stunning ballad. It doesn't give me Victoria vibes. A lot of people say that, but it actually gives me James Bond-esque vibes. It's the sort of song that you'd hear Adele sing in one of the Bond movies, maybe a bit of a Sam Smith. I think it's lovely. I really do. It gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. I think it's probably in my top 2 Melodi Grand Prix 2022 songs this year. The melody is silky as hell. It's soft. It hits you right in the heart. And to be honest, this is where I get a bit frustrated, because when you compare it to the other 4, it is night and day. And I mean that. It's not, for me personally, it's night and day between the 4 that are going to have to compete to go through to the final. The direct qualifier is so much better than any of those, in my opinion. And I'm so excited to see Elsie Bay live on Saturday night. I just think Death of Us is such a wonderful song. Some interesting lyrics, however. The devil hides behind the Jack and the King. There's a menage a trois if ever I saw one. And I've made up my mind, and there's no coming back from the Death of Us. So powerful. Go, Elsie.
It is, the words I've got written down here: gentle, complex, and emotional. I think the Victoria comparisons come from, it's not necessarily the complexity of the song or anything like that that gives the Victoria vibes. It's the tonality in the voice. Victoria has a particular vocal, and I think Elsie has quite a similar vocal to that, which is brilliant. I mean, because Victoria's vocal shows so much range, and I think Elsie shows the same or a similar range when she sings this. Certainly one of my favorites. Let's go to Morton.
This song is so good. I mean, there are 21 songs in Melodi Grand Prix this year, and there are 20 songs that I listen to and think, okay, they can do this or they can do that, or I don't like this part, or I don't like this part. But there's one song that I literally cannot give any flaws about, and that is Death of Us from Elsie Bay, because it's a beautiful voice. I like the vibe I get from it. It's so delicate, and I personally think it's better than both of Victoria's songs, the previous 2 Eurovision. I think this can do really well, and I think this can win the entire Melodi Grand Prix. And that is, of course, if she sings like that live, and I think she actually will, even though it sounds like a difficult song to sing live as well.
Yeah, I think it's a song that definitely challenges her voice, and I think, well, yeah, I do wonder if we are hearing the winner in week one again. I think Tix was also in week one last year as well, from memory as well. Let's go to Joe.
You're
Is
gonna hate me.
Elsie one of your favourites?
No, she's not, unfortunately. Don't get me wrong, I'm not doubting the quality of the song, and I'm going to give Stig Carlson absolute credit for choosing this one as a director final, because fair play, it had to be. The quality is really, really there, isn't it? But my problem is I just didn't like Victoria, and all I hear when I hear her is Victoria. And I think if Victoria hadn't been around for the last 2 years and this came along, or this came along before Victoria, I think I would have liked it a lot more. And particularly if a ballad hadn't been chosen for the last couple of years in Norway as well, because I think it's time for a different genre. I don't think we should be going for a ballad 3 years in a run. But that's just my opinion, and as I said, I'm not doubting her singing ability or the song. It's just not something that I just don't think we should be going for something like that this year. But then it's not our decision at the end of the day, is it? It's the good, wonderful people of Norway.
It is, and I think this will do well. But you're right, it would be nice to see something different, but at the same time, I'll settle for diversity in the final, as always. Martin pointing out that all the gold finalists were in week one last year as well. Elliot, Elsie,
Hello.
what are we thinking now? You obviously are, and for those people that have been tuning into our social media feed, you're going to be interviewing Elsie next week, I believe.
Yes.
It's 18th of January.
Yes, Gustav and I are talking to Elsie, so this should be fun. Me and Gustav in a room together. So the jury is coming back for the final this year for MGP, and they announced that very soon after the final last year. I noticed the jury would come back, and I think it's because Stig got a song like this, or he wanted a song like this, because there's no way a jury can mark this down. It's not something you put up, it's something you mark down. And it's brilliant. Like, she sings phenomenally. And like I said, it's a bit of Victoria, it's a bit of what people said Aurora, and it's a bit of America for me. It's three of those artists all sort of put into one. The lyrics are a 10 out of 10 for this. I think it's really beautiful and sweet lyrically. Like I said, the death of us, spitting anger from your lungs. Like, there's some really powerful words she has wrote. My issue with this is the melody after the second chorus, where she sort of does like a scream. It then becomes really discombobulated. It goes really loud. It goes really quiet. It goes really loud. Like, it loses that. I don't want to say tonality, but it seems to be on such a smart path. And then it just seems to become a bit scattered. And I just think, how's that going to translate staging wise as well? Obviously, there's things they can tweak and fix and all these sorts of things. They've got 5 weeks before, she actually has to compete for herself, so it'll be fine. But I think it's very bold them putting their potential winner and what people are touting as a potential Eurovision winner on in week one. Again, like, that's very bold for them to do that for the second year running, putting this forward. And considering she's pretty much an unknown as well, I think, for Norway. She's got one other single that I've heard. So she's not a Tix or a Kino. She is a up-and-comer. And she's phenomenal. And she'll have a career after this. I can see this in the final two. Do I see this winning? I'm not convinced. I think there are one or two I'd put slightly higher, but she's definitely within a shout to win the whole thing. And if she's in the final two vote, I won't be shocked. And if she wins, I won't be shocked. But it's not a clear winner like everyone else seems to be saying, like online. People seem convinced it's Elsie or nothing. And I think there's two other songs that can beat it, and we'll get onto them in the future weeks.
Hey. And don't forget, guys, if you have any questions that you would like Elliot and Gustav to pose to Elsie, don't forget to get in contact with us via the social media channels. Oben, wrap this one up for us.
Tom, regardless how much I love Victoria, this is Victoria done right. I mean, this is flawless. Like you cannot fall. You can say it's not my cup of tea, and I totally respect to it. It's yes, but you cannot fault this song, this singing, and I genuinely think that this is exactly how she's gonna sound on the stage, and simple Barbara Pravi staging. She's standing with a mic stand and the mic in front of her, and then just like letting us in through the screen, and then just like fill and like this is like, and in all fairness, in any MGP, any season, you cannot get to pick the winner from the first week. It's always a close race. It's always a bunch of good quality songs will make it to the final. So I am not sure. As Elliot, I'm not convinced if it's a winner or not. But it's not because she's not good enough. It's because it's MGP, and MGP always brings 4 to 5 good quality songs that could do phenomenal in Eurovision. So contender, I'm not sure. It's not in the pocket, but she's a contender. And one last thing, I was so scared that I'm be able to drop a Cyprus reference to this show. But when Stuart was reading the lyrics, she basically speaking about El Diablo. It's definitely she is speaking about El Diablo.
Not one show. Not one show can we get through without mentioning
getting
bloody
in somewhere.
Cyprus.
I'm relaxed finally.
Oh, that was clearly causing you some stress, wasn't it? There we have it. There are the 5 songs for Saturday night, fully previewed. Stu, what comes up next?
Well, we're going to go live straight after the final, Heat 1 show on NRK on Saturday night. So we'll be live at 9:30 Central European time. That's 8:30 for those in UK. Come and join us live straight after. Give us your opinion as to whether you felt the right qualifier qualified, or if you're annoyed because your favourite didn't qualify. We want to hear from you too. Come and join us in the chat room. That's 9:30 Central European time on Saturday night, live here on YouTube.
Hey, excellent. And following that, as I trailed earlier, 18th January, what was the time, Stu?
Next Thursday, it's 9 p.m. Central European time. Always 9 p.m.
No.
Central European.
Elsie Bay's interview.
Well, it'll be out some point the following week, Tom.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
We're conducting it Tuesday evening, and hopefully we'll have it
Tuesday
out before the next preview show.
There was me thinking.
So could you
Elliot
tell I
was going
forgot
to
I
do it
wasn't listening
live.
properly?
I just
Yes.
thought Elliot was doing it live. There we go. I clearly wasn't reading my memos, even when they did get sent to me. Now, we will be back on Saturday. In the meantime, do please keep the conversation going on the social media channels. Thanks to everyone that contributed in the chat tonight, and a massive thanks to my panel. It's a big thanks to Elliot.
Thank you, guys. This has been so much fun. I can't wait for, I think, another 8 shows of this, so bring it on.
Hey, big thanks to Joe.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your lovely comments tonight. They were amazing. Thank you.
Big thanks to Oben.
Thank you, Norway. Thank you, ESC Fan TV. Thank you, Europe. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Big thanks to Morten.
Thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. And as always, big thanks to my co-host Stu. Show
Nice
1
to you.
done.
Yeah, thanks to you, Tom.
100
will-
to go.
Exactly. Yeah. But I enjoy Norway. It's lots of fun, and we started off with a bang. Let's look forward to the live heat. I'll be back here to do it all again Saturday night.
Excellent. Whatever your favourite, whoever your favourite, and if you are the acts watching as well, good luck on Saturday night. Bon chance, as they say, and we'll see you for all the reaction at 8:30.
See you then.
Bye-bye.